Studio 7 from the Permian Basin Chevy dealers.
You've probably heard of the empty nest. It's the season of life when your kids move away and you're at home alone, probably for the first time in decades. Or maybe your reality is just an empty nest while your children are at school. Either way, it can be a tough adjustment. In today's Getting Real, Jessica Phillips is here to offer some advice on coping with these realities. So the empty nest is kind of a normal part of life, right?
Absolutely. We're all headed there. If you have children in the home, I have a 3-year-old. It's coming. Brad swears I'm not allowed to start taking college classes when she goes off to college. And I'm like, but God might be calling me back to further my education.
To go with her to school?
Right. And he's like, no, because we kind of are a generation of, we're the hovercraft parents. You know, we helicopter and we're hovering all the time. And if we do that, we're going to crash, and we may never allow our kids to ever get off the ground and fly.
Yes.
And so this is tough because we're trying to be good parents and be involved, and then they're gone one day, and then what? And so I'm coming today with some advice that eventually I will have to eat these words. So I know this is probably easier said than done, but we have to accept the timing and receive it for what it is, because some kids want to get out the door and be on their own immediately. The minute they graduate high school, they're gone. Yeah. And then you have those other kids who need to stick around home for a year or two. Mm-hmm. And we can't compare it to our own experience or our other kids. You know, this might be the second child or the third child, and they're doing it differently than all the other kids did it. Accept the experience and the timing for what it is for them. Don't compare. If they're 35 and living at home, kick them out, okay?
We need to talk at that point.
An intervention. Another thing to do is keep in touch with them and do it on a level that they want to. Maybe that's Snapchat, maybe that's FaceTiming, texting. It may not be just sitting on the phone an hour a day, Mom. That's okay. Right. And the way that you can let your kids feel like that you're thinking about them, send them care packages. Mm-hmm. And it takes up more of your time because you're doing something, but it's always investing in them, so it helps you get through the day. Send them cards. They may not really recognize how much they appreciate that, but they do. We all enjoy getting a card in the mail, letting us know somebody's thinking about us.
Absolutely. But I like what you said about don't expect an hour-long phone call, because most people at that age, they're not going to do that.
They're busy, and you want them to be productive. You want them to be meeting friends and maybe getting that part-time job, but definitely studying and doing all those things that they need to do to succeed. So yeah, lower those expectations of time. Seek your own support. Look for friends, family that you can lean on and be vulnerable with and say, okay, I'm having a really low day or a low week. This is hard. Or if you know your kid's graduating and they're leaving in August to go off to college, all summer long, you ask your friends to rally around you. I need a trip planned. I need a prayer group. I need a Bible study. I need a coffee group, whatever it is.
Take up a hobby. Start golf, tennis.
That's right. I think when we get really down, it's a lot of times we have those ingrown eyeballs. We're just looking at ourselves and feeling sorry for ourselves. Look out. There are people who are in real, true, desperate need of your help, your kindness, your love, your wisdom. So your 18-year-old doesn't think you know anything. Guess what? Your neighbor who's got the colicky baby, she knows you know everything. Yes. And she wants your help. Most of all, invest yourself. Invest yourself in that hobby. Invest yourself in a new business venture. You're not too old. Colonel Sanders started KFC when he was like 75. Like it's not the day and age where your kids go off to college and we retire and we sit on the front porch. Yeah. This is a time for you, with all of your experience, to go and invest into the world something that God's created for you to give to the world.
I'm inspired. It's the next phase.
It is. It's the next phase.
Jessica, thank you so much for being here.